here we have that the federal government has called on universities to set up sexual assault referral centres to address cases of sexual harassment and ensure timely intervention within the university community. Minister of Women Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim made the call at a national summit on sexual harassment in tertiary education in Nigeria on Monday in Abuja. Suleiman Ibrahim described sexual harassment as a global menace and a pervasive violation of human rights, particularly against women. She emphasized that the effects of sexual harassment transcend physical harm, leaving survivors with emotional, psychological, and socioeconomic scars. She also emphasized the need for universities to prioritize the safety and well-being of their students by enforcing policies, establishing gender-sensitive frameworks, and creating safe reporting channels. The minister highlighted the present administration's commitment to zero tolerance against gender-based violence through several initiatives, including supporting the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 and the Sexual Harassment Prohibition Bill passed by the 9th Senate in July 2020. You're not, none of you are women, but I would love to get your thoughts about this. I would love to get your thoughts about this. Firstly, let me go to you, Dumethil. What do you have to say about this?
These are
do you think this is a good idea to initiate a sexual assault center in the university?
You know, if you watch Nigeria, we have multiplicity of agencies. Multiplicity of agencies. I don't think there's a need to create a special center to report sexual harassment.
Why do you think
there's
so?
an ethical code of conduct for everyone who works and functions within a university system. And harassing people sexually is one of those knots. Everybody knows so. So when you want to set up a special center to make these reports, who are you reporting to? That's the question we should be asking. Because in most university systems, sexual harassment is not always from the security man at the gates of the university. It's always those at the hierarchy of the operations of the university. Mm-hmm. Is either one professor harassing a student or one Senate man harassing a student, or it's always within the hierarchy. So those you want to set up the center to report, are you reporting to God? You're reporting to the same human with the human problem. The same person who has been given the powers to implement the ethical conduct within the university system, who has failed, is the same person you want to be reporting to. This is not the solution to the problem. If you watch every issue that had ever been, there are several cases of reports of sexual harassment in universities, but just few are attended to. And if you watch the statistics of those that are attended to, are the ones that come up on social media. Go and find out. Every day, in fact, every day people report sexual harassment. But the man you're reporting to is in connivance with the man who ought to be who is the defaulter. I'll tell you one experience I had in school. You know, we had this group of lecturers. I had female, fine girls in my class. Fine girls. You know, one day, you're not productive. I said, I'm one of the best students in class. So what do you mean I'm not productive? He kept saying it until one day I had to insist, what do you mean by I'm not productive? He said, all those your female friends in the class, what are you doing with them? You don't bring them around. And I discovered that the notebook they use and say, bring passport, attach your latest passport to your mat number, you know. It is to look at this one is fine, and they will say, oh, yeah, and I was wondering, what's happening here? These are people... these are students that are supposed to be under your care. So in such a case, what do you do? When you want to set up this center, who would you put there? A Catholic priest? Or which pastor would you come and put there? Listen, these are not the issues. I think that we have sufficient laws that can give us the best of behavior in this country. I'm one of those. Why do we have EFCC? Why do we have ICPC? Why do we have a police investigation unit crime? We just multiply everything. You have Ministry of Niger Delta, you have NDDC, you have now, what is all this? This is not the solution to the problem. We have a human problem. Even if you bring, let me tell you, if you bring the best brains in US here, they will suffer. So I think that we should concentrate to begin to erode the wrong psychology in our public sector. I think that's what we need to do. You know, even those who say the girls should have their self-pride and self-worth. You must understand that, look, you don't have to give your body to get grades. That's it. And the lecturers must understand that, look, these students are in trust under your care. And if you do this, we want to see people go to jail now. People are not going to jail. Even if you set up this one now and there's a report, you'll see the brother to that person who is a minister will call the police and the matter would just die like that.
Thank you very much,
So, just to add, I think that people need to be smart enough, because the social media is the only safest place now where you could
speak out.
You could speak and get things done. Anybody who harasses you, walk your way around being smart to expose it on social media.
Okay, thank you.
It comes to the public courts.
Thank you. Well, quickly, I'd love to get your thoughts, Mufasa. What do you have to say about the situation?
My friend Dumezo has actually said so much about the topic. But for me, what I would say is, if the old ways are not yielding any good result, there's nothing wrong in introducing a new pattern. But my concern is, sincerity of purpose and intention, because, like you rightly said, who are the people that will oversee these new ways? Okay, are we still going to have those same old people who were unable to address these issues sufficiently, overseeing this new order? These are the issues. And secondly, I have a quarrel also when, they narrow sexual harassment to, the female folks alone. Guys, too, also suffer sexual harassment. It may not come in the magnitude.
So, are you trying to say the guys suffer sexual harassment from the same gender?
From the same gender, from the opposite gender. Okay. It is sexual harassment. So let us not make it a woman affair.
Okay.
It should be open. But like you said,
but it's actually
but I saw woman, girl, child, and other. So
yes.
let it go round.
This agenda is basically for women.
No, but sexual harassment is universal. It has a broad perspective.
Okay.
So every aspect of it should be captured.
Okay.
So now, like you rightly said, before now we have ethical conducts that are meant to be followed, and we have departments, units, set up by the organization to oversee things like that. That's why I said, if the old order is not yielding any positive result,
you should change
this new order should, let us see if it can bring about the needed change. Then we can also look at bringing new people. You cannot set up a sexual harassment center in a university and you allow people from within the institution to run it. Like I said, even people who go there to complain might end up being victimized. That's why the social media has become the moral police station, where people go to and vent and rant, and that's only when they take it up. Yeah. I was surprised when the Inspector General of Police also came out and said that don't go and report, and they said, but that's the only place that the needed attention is given to issues. So for me, nothing wrong in coming up with new ways of doing things, but there has to be sincerity of purpose and intention.
Okay, so the program is not about setting up this sexual harassment centers.
I am totally against it.
It's about the curbing the
it is going to be counter. I'm telling you ahead of time. It's going to be counterproductive.
So it's actually
we cannot completely rule out. We cannot completely rule out.
I am listen.
So it's not about opening the centers.
No. It's not about. Listen, we have laws within the institution, and everybody knows that sexual harassment is unethical. And once you're caught in the act, you're supposed to be, the law is supposed to take its full course. But what is this center bringing on board?
But the order we had before.
Who is the operator?
The things we had before.
You're changing an operation with the same operator.
And sometimes we get in situations where, like you said, the professor that it has this particular attentions that harassing a particular student sexually might be a friend of the VC of the particular university, and you might not really have that opportunity to
if you bring in people who are completely independent, they are not part of the system. That's why I said
they are not part of the system.
That's why I said if you're opening a center in a university, and maybe you have like an NGO, or you have people from the Ministry of humanitarian or women affairs, whatever office that's responsible for that, to oversee that office, even right in the university premises. You understand? Then, if you have a problem, you don't need to still operate within the control of the university.
Okay, so you're of the opinion that it would work. It can work. But you are of the opinion that it will not work. It can only work if they form a new agency, a different body that is not part of... Please hold on, Mufasa. You're trying to get an opinion that it will work, but they have to come up with a body, an agency that is not part of the system that has been corrupted.
With sincerity of purpose.
With sincerity of purpose. And let me hold you in that. But you are of the opinion that it will not work.
It will not work.
Whether they bring up a new agency, a new system, it will not work.
You know why I'm saying so?
Why I will still come back to you. Why do you think it will work with that?
It will work because we have an order already existing. Like you said, ethics, we have those departments in the university. So
there's a possibility that the sexual harassment might not still come up from that agency.
It has been largely compromised because it is the university, the institution that runs that department. You understand? Okay. So even if you go there as a victim to complain that you have been harassed one way or the other, it still goes to the university disciplinary system, the Senate or the decision-making body of university to decide on it. Some of these people who are in that department are friends with the so-called, offenders who are usually big men in the university.
Okay, let me
so they can be largely compromised. Conclusively.
Okay.
So if we have an independent body, because what we have already is not producing any valid result. If we have an independent body run by a separate entity that is not attached to the university, but you have an office to handle such case.
It's usually they just on sexual harassment.
On the sexual harassment,
not
when you
part
come
of
to
the
complain, they take it up immediately.
Okay.
It will not work.
And whatever that is the consequences, they follow it to its logical conclusion. I believe it can work.
Quickly, Domezu, why did you say it will not work?
I insist, and I've said that the foundation of our problem is that we are where we are because of whom we are. And I've said even if you bring AI to Nigeria, it will malfunction. Because of who we are. And I'm saying so because, I'll give you an instance. Sorry to digress. We have what we call the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. How independent are they? The whole problem we have to do in electioneering is INEC. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they're not supposed to be politicians. So I'm telling you that within the university system, in fact, in the ways that people even emerge, makes it impossible for people to keep to their opinion and principle. How does the VC emerge in a university? There's a voting system. You have to seek for support. Do you understand? Now, when the VC emerges, the VC appoints the HODs and the deans of faculties. Now, if a dean who worked for the VC to emerge is found in such acts, and they have a personal relationship, how do you think the VC will react?
That was why I...
Do you understand what I'm saying? So my point is that, listen, this thing is not going to work.
But the thing is now is both of you actually agree on the fact that in as much he said it will work, you said it will not work. But you agree on the fact that it should be an individual responsibility where you come on social media to speak up about the situation.
That is the only moral ground right now that you can superimpose justice.
Okay.
That's the only way. So I'm thinking if we want to have this to work, it's a holistic change that has to be done. If you see students relate to their lecturers outside the university campus, why? Your lecturer will tell you, come to your house. Come to this hotel to meet me. What business do you have there? So the system permits that to happen.
So you feel the system is corrupt, that's why it's not going to work?
The system is immersed in corruption.
Thank you very much.